and welcome to the AEW Dynamite Preview. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by Wilbourn Michael Sidgwick from WhatCulture, here to look ahead to tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review AEW Dynamite, but also AEW Collision, Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a pretty good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Sidgwick, Michael Hamflet, working from home today. But we are looking ahead to Dynamite and all the fallout from WrestleDream.
Yeah. You haven't buried Hamflet. He's still doing work, I suppose. So we'll let him off on this occasion. Here's something. I have been prepping some written work. We are prepping our year-end content. So I've been drafting a lot, writing a lot in that sort of area. I've done 2 lists that are all but good to go. I'm just going to make sure that nothing goated happens in the next couple of weeks or whatever before we publish it. No point in doing year-end content in October. But, you got to do the bit of inside baseball here.
Yeah.
You got to, get the, make sure you can write it all and then get it released in a timely fashion. And I did 10 best wrestling matches of 2025 and 25 best moments of 2025. And I do not say this enough, so I might as well say it now on this pod. I'm guilty of taking AEW for granted. I'm not saying that I'm going to lower my standards or change in any fundamental way, but my goodness, I was like, Hollywood ending.
God, I forget that's this year.
Anarchy in the Arena, the finish to All in Texas, all the actual storylines and character development that informed that last third of the All in Texas main event. The year the Bucks had in the ring. Yeah, it's not exactly inspiring week to week, but you can't arrive at the moments AEW has generated this year with without really rich character development, some great moments. Just the finish to the Hollywood ending when she just brain her with a shoe. It's like, that is there's a lot of poetry in AEW, and they've had some incredible high points throughout 2025. So I don't know, I was watching a lot of stuff, or reminding myself of a lot of stuff that AEW has accomplished in 2025. And yes, I would make sweeping changes to the TV product if it was up to me, and it ain't. I would give Tony Khan a decent break. But yeah, I don't feel like I say often enough, it is all too easy to feel spoiled by AEW and go, can I do a life-affirming generational wrestling moment every week? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
I understand, or I should understand better, that we can't have that every single week, and they are never far away from giving you something that is nothing less than incredible. So on that basis, I feel like I'm going to give AEW a little bit of a break from my acerbic critique, at least today. Let's see what Dynamite does tomorrow. And there are at least 2 things set for Dynamite tonight, where in the wake of WrestleDream, the review of which is still available now wherever you get your podcasts from, where I'm thinking there's a boldness to Dynamite, the lineup this week, and I'm really quite excited about it.
Yeah, it's Sod's Law, the proper lineup will drop probably as this podcast is released, because we are limited in terms of what we can preview today. But like you say, you can anticipate what's coming. We're going to probably guess what the women's match, the one women's match that is going to be on this show is going to be. It was weird because I think arguably for the first time, maybe ever, people went into an AEW pay-per-view the weekend with kind of low expectations. People saying like, I might not watch this one. I might not bother. This might be if this, or certainly if this doesn't deliver, I might be out for a bit. And yet, people loved WrestleDream. Obviously, we talked all about.
People loved it. I really, really, really liked it. I don't think it was one of the best efforts. Tony Khan said that it was his favorite. I mean, I know he's a promoter, but he said it was his favorite that they've done since the pandemic. He's obviously not going to say All Out 2021, even though, that's obviously the answer. It's sort of bittersweet as it is now. Do I believe him or not? A lot of people love this show, so maybe I shouldn't be too cynical, but surely it's all in Texas for the feat. I mean, he scripted the comeback. He didn't actually make it happen long term. But if you can script a promotional comeback like he did, even if it didn't really last, then that's surely got to be it. But no, I understand the claim.
In terms of fallout from Wrestle Dream, yes, we've got obviously Mercedes and Stat that we'll talk about in due course. Yes, we've obviously got the ongoing situation with a now healed Samoa Joe, although Ops are in action with the Trios title stuff tonight, and Hangman Page. But arguably, I'd say the most interesting thing going into this show is what the future holds for the Death Riders, because it felt like the death knell of them in the I Quit match, or at least Mox leading the Death Riders. I don't know, because I was thinking, like, I genuinely had forgotten until I looked at the sort of run of Wrestle Dream and then obviously watched the main event play out. I genuinely, for a split second, forgot Daniel Garcia had joined the group.
Yes, indeed.
So it's because it's not just like, oh, if now Mox has been he's no longer world champion. He's no longer, saying how things go basically on AEW. It's not just about that. There's other members, Pac,
yeah,
etc.
Indeed. It is interesting this, in that surely, right, if you take this as a story, and it's quite difficult to do this in the context of a never-ending episodic pro wrestling TV program, but you would think Jon Moxley's work is done in this particular role. He had a stated mission, an MO, modus operandi, as a character, and that is, this place sucks now. No one's even coming close to realizing their potential. Look at the opportunity that we all have, and you're blowing it by being lazy or goofy, or it was all a bit vague and cryptic and all the rest of it. But and I know that the character's a hypocrite, so realistically, it can run and run if he can convince his soldiers to stay with the cause, because he's a hypocrite who might believe in this stuff, but he's been proven that he can no longer embody it. He's been killed off twice. You can't get killed off twice. You can have a jump scare, I guess, but you can't get killed off twice and then just keep going. They need to be kind of careful, because I think Jon Moxley, ultimately, I know you and Hamflet aren't the biggest fans of him or the Death Riders, and I've had my problems with them in the past, but he's done quite an incredible job of being the big bad. You do not have that All in Texas main event.
Oh, you can't deny his work.
And how powerful it was if he hasn't effectively played this role. Even if I had and still have reservations about if this sort of meta stuff should be driving the narrative in AEW, but regardless, he's completely smashed it. I think some of his individual performances have been incredible. But if you take the performer out of it and look at this strictly from the perspective of the Jon Moxley character, he has assembled this group, the stated aim of which was to redefine AEW, and if you can beat me, good, I actually want that. I want to be dethroned. It will prove to me that one of you has had the ability to take advantage of this opportunity that we've all had at AEW. And he's begging for competition. He was begging people to step up. The words he was using against Private Party were like complacent or whatever it was. Hangman Page has taken the title off him. He is, and it's that All in Texas main event was incredible, because I couldn't really have cared less about the stakes, and yet they made me through the magic of the performances and the storytelling. But regardless, the title has been retrieved. The promotion, in effect, has been saved. And then there was this sort of like sequel, if you like, the unfinished business of Darby Allin. He's now made Jon Moxley say, I quit. If you trace it all back, I don't think Hangman Page was figured into the Wrestle Dream 2024 final angle, which obviously, was reshaped as it went on throughout the year. But from beginning to end, the idea was, and we tackled this at the time, can they make this Jon Moxley reign interesting, knowing full well that they have foreshadowed / telegraphed that Darby Allin is going to be the guy to beat him. In a different order, but it's now happened.
Yes.
I don't know. I think Jon Moxley, if he keeps going on, yes, I understand the character's a hypocrite, but at the same time, he can believe that all he wants. They can tell that story all they want. There was a point when Jon Moxley felt inevitable. Like, oh, God, Jon Moxley wins again. Ultimately fruitful in terms of his aura and the losses that he took meaning something. But the more you drag this out, the more you can't get, like the Darby Allin victory didn't feel anywhere near as monumental, and this had to happen, and thank Christ it did, as the Hangman one, for example. So we're already reaching the point of diminished returns.
Yeah.
I think the All In Texas main event blew away the Wrestle Dream main event, truthfully, and I think time will be so kind to the All In Texas main event. The next guy Moxley does a job for, it ain't going to be the same as Hangman. It might not even be the same as Darby, for whatever that was worth. It's treading back into increasingly hokey territory with the weapons and all the rest of it. Think of it from a total character perspective, and sometimes this doesn't matter in wrestling because you go with a hot hand and Moxley's a draw, and if they like him as a heel, none of this might matter. But from a pure story/character perspective, maybe Daniel Garcia is disillusioned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you brought me into this and I changed everything about myself just to back a loser. I could see him and one other turning.
Quite like the idea of Shafir being the one to be like,
Shafir being the one.
Doing?
Yeah, that would be the most powerful because she's been the ultimate success story of the Death Riders outside of Mox himself. Shafir partnering Claudio could be one last attempt to give Claudio a pay-per-view cycle as a world title challenger. I don't think he's ever going to be, I mean, this is not 2014 anymore. He's not going to be a main event level megastar charisma headliner, but Claudio going against Mox, maybe like one of my original fantasy booking plans for the BCC, which is of course the precursor to the Death Riders, was some kind of Cobra Kai split, dojo split situation. It's like Claudio and Yuta going against Mox and Garcia or something, you know? At some point, what I'm getting at is Moxley's going to lose credibility, and his soldiers should at this point be saying, quit pretty easy there, Mox. I wouldn't, put it this way, I wouldn't be surprised by anything. There's a lot of dragging on going on in wrestling, but every now and then they'll shock you. What if they just do the, right, okay, we're done here. You quit. You're telling me that I'm weak and everyone else is weak, and you quit within seconds. If there's a big John Moxley, they turn on John Moxley, and it's like, Christ, what a bold bit of table setting for the next however many months, several of storytelling that could be. And we've reached a point now where he stopped dressing like a cat burglar, and he stopped kidnapping the Rock and Roll Express, those complacent young guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're so far past that, and the general consensus, yes, it's not shared by you, but you're a Fed, Mark, no offense.
Fair.
It is fair, isn't it? Is that Christ John Moxley's individual performance levels have been quite incredible for several months at this point. By which I mean, this is a very long-winded way of saying, if Claudio turns on Mox alongside maybe all of the Death Riders, I think people at this point are like, thank you, Moxley, you did a great job in 2025, willing to cheer you now, and Moxley's a better babyface than the heels. So maybe the timing's right for all of this, from like what the crowd wants, the shelf life of the story, the credibility of Mox as a heel. I think a lot of things are converging to make it so that if all the Death Riders turned on Mox tonight, and I've seen chatter about this, people think Claudio could be the one. The more I talk myself into it, it is time. Yeah,
people were saying this in the immediate aftermath of All in Texas, let's not forget. And obviously, I'm kind of glad that they did do the Derby stuff because they committed so much to it.
Yeah,
I mean,
couldn't have dropped that.
No, I've titled the bullet point the end of the Death Riders, but I think you're right. It's not the end of the Death Riders. And this might be slightly guy who's only seen Boss Baby. Get a lot of Boss Baby 2 vibes off of this. But there's a little bit of the Judgment Day about this, i.e. when they were like, let's get rid of Edge, but then they just morphed into a wholly different group. Yeah. So whether it be Claudio or even Pac or someone like that, or like you say, some young gun like Garcia or Yuta, or even Shafir going like, Shafir being the one, I'll run this group.
That would be really effective. That
really,
would be
really intriguing to see what they do next with that. What do you see Darby doing? Because he's obviously, that upper echelon. He's a world title, he's world champion in waiting. It's not going to happen whilst Hangman Page is champion just yet, I feel. In my opinion, I'd love to know your thoughts on this as well. I get the sense we might be heading towards a sort of Orange Cassidy-esque run for Hangman, i.e. you've gone, 40 minutes with Carl Fletcher. You've, beat Samoa Joe, but then he's just murked you after the match. You're going to have the Ops, all of them, a couple of the powerhouse Ops there as well, ganging up on you. He's going to retain against Samoa Joe, you sense in the rematch. Then you could have someone else challenge him for it. MJF's there waiting in the wings because he just keeps fighting everybody week after week. It's not just the title defenses. It's what he wants to be there and, be the sort of regular presence on television so that he's Kanishio taped all over the place, basically.
Yeah, no, that is a route. So I don't know where Darby figures into it, though you expect they have to give him a shot. The logic would dictate you've beaten one of the most invincible stars in AEW. Hamfler gave me a quiz yesterday. Who are the 15 wrestlers to hold victories over Jon Moxley? And it's a short list and there's several repeated names on there. So that should really mean something. Shall I set a timer on and you can have a little go?
I mean,
Let's have a little go, buddy. Are you scared?
Yeah.
You a little bitch?
I can think of two, and that's only because I heard you talking about this as I was taking my headphones off.
Well, 3 minutes.
I mean, give me one. I won't be getting a lot of them. Ray Phoenix.
Yes.
And these are the only ones I remember you talking about. Cassidy.
Yes.
Darby, obviously.
Yes.
Hangman.
Yes. Like 4 times, actually.
You said Kenta, but he's not. He wasn't one.
Not
was
Kenta.
He?
So just repeating my answers.
Yeah, Jericho. Did he ever beat him, or it was all Mox? Wasn't
Mox beat Jericho's ass.
It is a really small number of people. That I'm struggling to think of who.
One of them was by accident as well. The Phoenix one.
Oh, Phoenix, yeah, was one of them. Yeah, because he was that an injury?
It's when he got concussed and they had to say, "Oh Christ, get the belt off him."
Go on. Who else are the other names that I'm missing?
I can't remember the full exhaustive list. But
Punk, obviously.
Punk. Naito. Have I said Kenny?
No, Kenny, of course.
Kingston.
Eddie. What's going on with him, man?
Jesus. I know. Danielson isn't on that list. Jesus Christ, who else was on it? Lance Archer.
The Texas Death.
That was one of the first Dynamites back in front of fans in 2021. Have I said MJF?
We have not said MJF.
MJF for the title win. And there's a few more, but it's a very short list. And I cannot even remember it because a lot of these victories, because he's been presented as this invincible force for like better and worse over the course of his AEW tenure. So Darby beating him should mean something. If the traditional tactic would be Darby Allin announces his intention to vie for the AEW World title, but he's sidetracked with a new grudge feud because it's not time for him to challenge for it and lose. But who are the top heels in AEW? There's enough members of the Callis family.
Yeah, he could do that.
But then
him and Takeshita are always, and I know that's not the direction they're going in, but like, God, I love that match.
Yeah, I mean, that was absolutely awesome. But the Callis family preoccupied with what? Omega, always. Jurassic Express now. The Young Bucks will probably, that seems like the Blood and Guts direction.
Yeah, we 3 weeks away from Blood and Guts? Yeah, it's around the 12th, isn't it, I think?
I wouldn't entertain the idea of doing Darby Fletcher as much as that match would be frightening in terms of what they would do to each other. Because the whole point now is Darby has beaten Moxley. He was already TNT champion caliber. He's won that title more than once.
Yeah.
Minimum once. So I don't know what you do. And when you ask these questions, it's a little bit troubling because you realize there is a deficit of top heels in AEW who aren't already preoccupied.
Most combined days as TNT champion.
How many reigns?
2 reigns.
214.
Yeah, he's held it for combined.
His TNT title run.
I mean, last one of them was 28 days, but even so.
Yeah.
He's well known. Yeah, and I don't beat Fletcher again. He has to lose that, obviously.
So in short,
it's interesting to see where he fits in because, like you say, he's got to be up there, but
It'll be criminal if like he's just headlined and won an AEW pay-per-view. Like, if there's a list of, I don't know how Tony Khan organizes this or whatever, but like if there's a list of priorities, and there probably should be, because he can get unfocused. What next for the guy who's just won the main event of the pay-per-view? That really should be short-term number one. Let's come up with a direction.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he hasn't done it, but AEW needs some heels who aren't represented by Don Callis.
Yes.
Who can talk me into matches, basically.
Sticking with sort of the theme of Wrestle Dream Fallout, but looking forward to tonight's show, there's a trios titles match. The Ops, who obviously have just turned heel post the Hangman Page World title match with Joe, versus the Hurt Syndicate.
I love this. I absolutely
Who the hell
love
loses this, let alone who wins?
That's it, because it's one of those where you cannot, it's very unpredictable. And, you know, I said I would be nice, but it's very unlike a Dynamite match, this, where it feels like, Jesus, who's going to lose this? Because the Hurt Syndicate don't like losing. And this is that weird thing where someone's political reputation, nowadays, it's like it's really ineffective because when you like nakedly politic, people can just see through it.
Yes.
So I don't think you're a tough guy. I think you're an insecure guy who plays a tough guy but doesn't want to lose. But at the same time, because this is known knowledge or a known rumor, if you like, whatever, depending on where you sit with it, I guess, that the knowledge that they aren't particularly fond of doing jobs, or that's the hubbub, you instantly in your head think, well, they're not doing a job. But at the same time, you cannot be beating someone stale, doing not much act. All right, you've turned them. That instantly tells you, oh, there's a plan, so you invest. You can't really, all right, I won't invest if you've just lost literally the next match. Maybe there is a situation where Hangman Page costs the Ops in vengeance, and that's a way to heat up the second match, which needs to be stepped up because that first one was really methodical and quite boring for me. That's the only finish I can foresee.
Yeah. Or MVP takes 80% of the match and then loses.
Or that.
There's always that option.
There's always that option. But no, I will be absolutely on the hook for this. I think it's a very bold, unpredictable match, and AEW Dynamite could really use a few more of them. Not a lot more, otherwise the point is missed. But a few more genuinely, what the hell's happening here? As opposed to, I don't really see a win in Robin Renegade's future.
That's literally the name we were talking about for the one women's match, because it feels like, and I sense
Renegade.
We'll get to it because we've got a game for it as well. But I have a feeling, Michael Sidgwick, that they are going to do the one women's match right alongside, whether before or after the women's brackets being announced, because in the ladies zone of AEW Dynamite.
Like ladies zone. Well, this is ladies zone, and I'm thinking, what a zone.
Not the only title match, of course, tonight though.
I love this.
AEW Unified Championship, Kazuchika Okada versus Bandido, with Brody King, the motivational speaker in his corner.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love this. I love this. I love this. I would love this because deep down, as much as I bitch about, there's too many matches that exist to be good, this idea of skill and who's the best, it's getting a little bit grabby, a bit, seeing it. I need a bit more emotion, a bit more talk, a bit more story. And again, I feel like Raj Giri sat here. I will not be rating the super hunks, but, nonetheless.
Yeah.
This pairing's interesting because Bandido's working his absolute arse off this year. So if even Okada's like sort of half into it, Bandido's twice into it, twice over.
He's making up for it.
It's in the aggregate. I'll be excited if it was just Bandido bouncing between Ring of Honor and AEW. Just, all right, well, we're doing this then. That's going to be an awesome match, and that's the only reason why it exists. But they're telling a story. Okada was an arrogant, smug prick who was like, titles are good. Titles are goated, but even funnier for me and even more satisfying to me is to watch this pretender to my throne getting crushed by my Rainmaker. And his arrogance and his hubris cost him and Bandito pinned him. Therefore, it's quite an easy route to a title match. So I like the idea that how they've set this up, and the fact that Bandito has that injury versus Okada's loss to him kind of evens the odds. Like, put it this way. The fact that the match is good means, or will be great, means I'm going to invest in the story, which isn't amazing, but I do love the idea of Bandito, like, suffering an injury and him selling it really particularly well. Okada laughing his head off at the idea that he's got this prick with one shoulder to contend with, who only pinned him because he kind of let him in a way, or he got unfocused because he was too happy about Takeshita. But then Bandito's such an incredible babyface, even without that like sort of magic trick of the kinesio tape, that he's going to hit something with one arm, and I'm going to think it's the finish, and I'm going to be even more convinced it's the finish when Okada does one of his 2.999999999999999999999.
I have two things for this, both feasible for once. Number one, yes, Okada is going to be an arsehole about Bandito's injury.
Very funny with it as
My prediction with it is match is going on, Bandito's struggling through, fighting well. Brody, anyone with Brody King saying fight through it is going to be motivated. But Okada's going to be dominant. He's going to lay out Bandito. He's going to do the thing. And he's going to go, zoom in.
Then do the crying. And then the deadpan face.
That. And I think there's going to be a bit where...
I feel like a bit like you and Hamlet with this Okada. Like, some people think it's sacrilege that he's kind of goofing around and working at 0.75 speed. Screwing around too much. I think it's been banter since day one.
My other thing is, I think... When do you... But just it's a caveat to what I suggest here. Do you think they're going to go all the way through the C2 to get to Takeshita versus Okada?
I can't see them doing it at Wrestle Kingdom. I think the way in which the New Japan Okada situation was, the way that relationship was dissolved means I don't think they're going to give him a Wrestle Kingdom main event anytime soon. So maybe the Continental Classic. But there's an actual personal issue here that would almost be a shame, not a waste in a tournament setting, but you could do it after. And just have a great tournament for a great tournament's sake, because the permutations, like the mini rankings of the C2, I love it every single year. It's a luxury they've got this. They've told this story and they could delay it or do it twice even.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but at the same time, if it happens after, I'm like, I love their interactions together. It's one of the few things in pro wrestling on an emotional entertainment value level that I'm really, really, really into right now. So the longer the wait, the better. I want the anticipation. But to be fair, December's a long time. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
The reason why I say that is I could see Don Callis looking after his boy saying, Takeshita, we need you at ringside. And Takeshita, there's going to be, I think this is where you get the amazing near fall, accidentally hits Okada with something whilst trying to fight off Brody King or whatever, or interfere in the match. And he can do not even a sorry, actually, maybe just okay. So,
yeah.
And that's where I think you're going to get the near fall.
At least a bird flip.
Yeah.
It's one of those where...
Yeah, Okada's retaining, obviously, but we're going to have fun with this.
But that suspense of... I love it. Like, when's it happening? These things are called hooks, and they are vitally important. I really position this as high up the card as possible, to be honest, as Okada Takeshita stuff. It's great. It's becoming great, or at least it could become great.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd put this in the main event. Have a heavy tease in your main event. Like, this is, it's a regular thing. It's happening every week, but like, it's one of the best things they've got going for it. They should be promoting and teasing the hell out of it.
In terms of Brodido, who's next for them? FTR? I'm trying to think of who won at the pay, because I was like, the Young Bucks singles match is always there.
Yeah.
Or one-on-one match is always there. Would be weird to have Jack Perry and Richosaurus.
Yeah. We'll talk about him a little bit as well if we can.
So
not necessarily they won against the Young Bucks. They won a high-profile pay.
I realize that, but I don't want to split the vote, or you know what I mean? I don't want people to be divided in in what I suppose Jack Perry's still doing stuff that I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing, little buddy?
So maybe FTR again. I don't know. Obviously, they were in and around that with the three-way or whatever
With
it
the
was.
Hurt Syndicate, yeah. Why not? And then maybe they do that match when it is time for Cope to return, because they have to rematch Cope and Christian versus FTR, sadly.
Yes.
I think now that the weeks have gone by, what a disappointment that was altogether. FTR versus Cope and Christian, because that was one of the few, well, not one of the few, but one of the really good stories AEW told week to week throughout the year. And that match was just really stylized and played for laughs at times and didn't have much in the way of intensity. I'd like a go around of that, just to like have the proper match this time. Don't do your Cena tribute spots and what have you, and just do it properly. So
it moves so the business moves so quickly. I'd almost forgotten about them attacking his wife, for example,
absolutely.
and him going, "I've got to go home for a bit."
Yeah, they didn't recap it that much either.
But yeah. What, do you want to talk about Richosaurus now?
Let's talk about Richosaurus.
we've sort of, well, you two have sort of invented this, but I really like it.
Yeah, if you've missed however many podcasts, I'll bring it up to speed. Before, on the Wrestle Dream preview, me and Hamlet were like, what could a dinosaur do with a lot of money? And then he just becomes Richosaurus, obviously, where the gag would be an entity, a creature with no need for money. He's a dinosaur, no concept of money, suddenly deciding to be the most gaudy, like money-loving, flaunting the wealth dude around.
Not heelish, but
no, it'd be too charming to be
Yeah.
heelish. Like it'd be like a dissonance of like, yeah, he's doing obnoxious rich guy stuff, but he's a cool dinosaur. So
Yeah.
it's goated. Gold mask, entering the limo, the arena in limousines.
special
with
music.
special music and
Yeah.
licensed themes. Have you got any more on what Richosaurus, goddammit, could do with his cage?
Well, yeah, because as well, I should mention, you said Jungle Boy won't. Oh, Jack Perry has no need for money
Well,
either.
he's kind of a self-sufficient woodsman.
Yeah, he's like, give me $5,000 of the 500,000, and that'll be fine because I can just. And I'm just busy whittling away.
Whittling away. He can make his own furniture. He can make his own weaponry. He doesn't. He's always, even when he was in the Elite, and they were meant to be the new Elite. Oh, rest in peace. They were meant to be this like, well, we've got loads of money and we're buying a car or a sports car. Not Jack Perry's too cool for all that. Well, he's playing a rich little arsehole, so maybe don't get that bus. But whatever, he lives within his means.
Kidnapping people.
Happily lives within his means using the land. So Richosaurus will get the bulk of the cash.
Well, Richosaurus buying some Young Buck stuff just to rub it. They're like, we're going to have to sell some things to. So like he wears their shoes
like
or
an
something.
auction.
Yeah.
Like sneakers.
Oh, an auction would be
sneakers.
funny. Like I know people don't like sketches, but like them being like some arsehole will buy off fancy trainers.
The inconvenient truth about AEW's approach to heightened stuff and skits and comedy is that it fits when it's good.
Yeah.
When it's awful, like I don't know, for QTV or whatever. But like he said, yes, Dark Order, Hangman Page stuff. Like it works when it's good, and there's potential for this to be good.
Commission a painting of Luchasaurus and Jack Perry. It's a bit. No, actually, I don't want to do that. I was going to say you could have him buy a dinosaur skull and be like, "It's an old family heirloom or whatever."
Yeah.
But then again, that's a bit back in the old ways of like, bloody anti WWE stuff, is it? No, actually, works quite well for this character.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't need to.
No, it's Wu-Tang theme. I think we got it. I think we've already nailed it. I think we've already created the perfect gimmick. Actually,
Look, we've said Wu-Tang theme. What more do you want?
can you imagine if that he just actually came out to Cream by the Wu-Tang Clan, and he's just he's rich now, so cash rules everything around him. I mean, it would be incredible.
It would be really good.
It would be absolutely incredible. They have to do something with it.
Yeah.
I understand what it was meant to do, the stipulation. Like, in a way, it's immaterial that it's irrelevant that Jurassic Express won the money. It's more pertinent in how it's going to tell the Young Bucks, all right, okay, we're going to have to change our ways. We got corrupted by cash, And it wasn't us, and we're going, you know what, we are deep down in our core, like corny little best friends with Kenny Omega. You know, I love them all, but it's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
It's them losing the money, but gaining a little perspective. Yeah, that's the point of the stip match, the money. But
time for a face
have
turn.
some fun with it. Give him the Wu-Tang Clan.
Face turn for Bucks yet? Or
I got Kenny.
Just do it now. In fact, pre-record Dynamite now and preempt whatever's on telly now and just do it. We know where it's going. I don't need to see more conflicted faces. 6 years of this
Michael Sidgwick, come with me now.
You know what? It's been obviously way longer than that if you factor in the New Japan stuff.
Yeah.
Was it 2018 that... 2018, was it? The first year where it's like, oh, well, we're on the outs and we're telling this story and... Was 2018 because it was Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks. It was in one of the New Japan USA shows, and it was that like we don't want to fight you, but you kind of were pushing each other towards it. And it was good. It was absolutely incredible. One of the best spots ever that I've ever seen was Matt Jackson. I think was about to do just an elbow drop to Kota Ibushi because it was a wrestling match. But then Kenny Omega was selling. And I just found him. He was blasted by something on the outside. And there was a table there. And he's found himself like draped across it. And then Matt Jackson was like, you know what, I'm going to dive out the ring and put you through that table, Arsehole, because you deserve it. It was great. And then like, I think it was a Matt again where like Kenny was like, I don't want to do the one-winged angel. And Matt was just like, get on with it. It's been 7 years. 7 years since those days. Let's do something new.
I agree.
But anyway, I'm being nice about AEW today because, again, a year of just quite seminal highlights.
And Newcastle won 3-0 in the Champions League last night. So we're in good mood. Michael Sidgwick, come with me now.
Nick Pope. Does he know what sport he's playing? Because he's playing like a goddamn quarterback.
What a throw.
Great throw to Harvey Barnes in the third quarter of this UCL fixture.
Jersey didn't know what hit him. Great.
Obviously, I'm a Newcastle fan, but watching Jose, like, going through the motions a bit. Like, there was a point in the match. Shocker tangent. There's a bit where, like, Kieran Trippier wins the ball back, and then he wins a 50-50. Totally fair, but, like, the guys, it really hurts his ankle. And like Mourinho's like coming off the bench to go, hey, he's like classic Mourinho. I don't think his heart was in it.
No.
I think he knew the game was lost. And it was just like, he's mellowed.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's lost the essence of what it means to be Jose Mourinho. I am not Jose Mourinho.
It's his football heritage.
But no longer.
Yeah,
he's mellowed.
He needs to be a national manager. I think
know.
That's the last one.
I know. I've said all along, like, Tuchel's doing a good job with England right now after a little bit of early criticism, of which, you know, I partook.
Mm-hmm.
But he's getting the system right. He's getting the personnel right. And, yeah, it almost certainly is. But in terms of honorary English,
oh, yeah,
box office, and, like, you don't get the best managers in the world aren't national team managers. That's not how it works because the money and the prestige is in club football consistently. I wanted Jose for that job, man.
Would have been fun. Finally, Sidge, let's step into the ladies' zone.
Ladies' zone, I'm thinking, oh, what a zone.
No ladies' night with no Hamlet today, and the fact there's no women's match actually advertised. I suppose it might make it slightly easier predicting the one women's match we're going to get.
You're such an ass. He came in, like, don't worry. I was like, well, I'm not in a decent mood about AEW. Nice pay-per-view. I've relived the year. I've got a game. Is it the Pro Evo game?
Yes and no. But it's slightly different. It's not for this because, like I say, I think it's fairly easy to suggest.
Pro Evolution Evolved.
Indeed. It's easy to suggest who. I think we're just going to get not bog standard workers and what have you, but a fairly straightforward match, probably involving one of. I mean, Mercedes, probably not Mercedes. She's been working mad over the last few days. But let's say a Jamie Hayter, a Chris Statlander, whoever it might be. A straightforward match for them. But you can disregard quite a few of the names that you might throw out because they're going to reveal the women's tag title
The
tournament.
brackets.
So they couldn't just have
We can talk about that a little bit as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm just bringing us on to.
Because we're in the zone.
Yeah, they're in the ladies zone, of course. You can't just, throw like an Anna Jay in a match because one would assume TJ will be part of the
I've got some thoughts on TJ.
So, Robin Renegade?
Yeah.
Okay. let's turn our attention to this tag title tournament now. Fairly obvious indication that we're getting Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa as a team. Arguably, they're the favourites. Maybe neck and neck with someone like Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, perhaps. Then you've got what they're called. I was going to say the Sex Gods. That's not their name.
TJ.
No, the other one that I'm thinking of.
I got some thoughts on TJ.
Top Gods. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yes. So, as they've quietly drawn wrestlers together, so they've done a little bit of building work for this.
The Vendetta as well. I'm trying to remember some of the other teams.
Yeah.
Queen Aminata's obviously could be in a team. Julie Hart, Sky Blue.
Yeah.
Obviously from Triangle of Madness, I've seen suggested.
So, I don't have many thoughts. I think the teams almost select themselves. But I do have a fantasy booking idea for this.
Go on.
The fantasy booking idea is thus, right? And I'm going to give you what some people want and what might actually happen. But I'm going to ask you a question. What would it ultimately achieve? There's been one tag team, really. I mean, there's been a few. They've done women's tags in AEW since day one. But one consistent pair that have been together for years and years and years. And on some level, I haven't really heard it in the audience, hence what's driving this pitch. On some level, sentimental favourites. People like to see them together, and they've genuinely forged a very nice friendship. That's what I like in wrestling. TJ.
Yes.
Anna Jay and Take On You, right? And they're all over social media. You can probably tell that they've been... So I feel they're cruel doing this, but you got to get the heat somewhere. It's the business.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been all over socials. We've been dreaming of this moment, and, finally get the chance to win the tag team titles. We were a tag team before there were tag team titles, and da-da-da-da-da. They've been involved in some, class AEW stuff, plunder stuff mostly. I would beat them in the final. This whole thing, that was the destiny. It's our destiny to win these titles. We were a team before the titles even existed. We were a team, and we loved teaming together so much that when we thought these titles might not even happen, we're still teamed. That's how friendly we are. Losing the final and have one of them turn on the other.
Yeah.
Some heat, some emotion.
The final's interesting because you've got Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa have to be up there. Willow and Harley Cameron are beloved by the audience, but then you also might want to
take in TJ, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
but then you might want a heel team, like you say, God damn it, not called the Sex Gods, Top Gods.
Top Gods. But my thing with the TJ, I think it would be a strong indication of why this exists if they go on to win the whole thing, and that is to patronize the women. And I know it just feels like if they strap up TJ, and I'm sorry, but the harsh reality is that they ain't as over as they were, and they've really been relegated in that women's division because they've ramped up the quality with the recruitment. And, it's a harsh reality.
And I mean, folks, where's the lie?
It's the anniversary recently, by the way.
Indeed, yes. I don't want to be nasty. I'd want to be real. I'm a little bit too real.
That's your problem.
Okay. But I think it would be patronizing to have them go all the way and win it. I think
patronize me, a tag team.
Yes, indeed. Yes, that is something. And that would be the strongest indication of my cynicism, which is it's kind of a thing to do, But so I don't think it's going to dominate AEW programming. I think it'll be confined to Collision once the titles are sort of just there.
You don't think there's going to be a couple of matches from the bracket on Dynamite each week?
Yeah, I know.
It's a hot take.
But I'm just saying. It will. It's
two.
I think it's either going to go one of two ways. A pretty patronizing vehicle or something for Toni Storm to do, because she's had that world title for a long time,
Yes.
and you do not want to drive any resentment in her direction, right?
Quite funny that they've established these tag titles. Like, here's another title that's not, Toni Storm or Mercedes' involvement. Anyway, Toni Storm's in it, and you're like, oh, wait a second.
But if Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa are going to be a team, and they told you this at Wrestle Dream, I think they should lose the final, because you've given yourself more story if they do it, to a heel team, and I don't know which is the best one, but have that heel team go over TJ in the semis when TJ are really built. It's like, oh God, the dream's going to come true. No, it's over. It's dead. This is serious. This is heat. And then you could give them, like, who benefits really from TJ winning and just being a team? They haven't been over that much in a long time. This fantasy booking idea of mine, build it around TJ winning, and the dream's dead. Oh, that's harsh. Have one of them turn on the other.
Yep.
And then you can give them actually something substantial, high stakes to do, because it's about time. They've put in the yards. Don't patronize them. Give them a program, and they can work it between them.
I'd give the titles to Willow and Harley personally. Tony and Mina don't need it, or at least they're good. They probably will win them down the line. But
It's a Toni Storm vehicle, I think. At the end of the day,
I'd quite like them to go off in a different direction midway through the tournament, whether they get screwed out of it or whatever it might be. I like that more than what we've seen. But then again, I'm probably booking like a team like Top Gods to make the final, which doesn't really work because they've literally just fought Harley and Willow on the what's it called? Tailgate, of course. So that doesn't really work. Then again, what do you think of the idea, by the way? Because I've seen this suggested of Mercedes entering this tournament as well. Like, she can lose via her partner, so it's not. Are
you stupid or are you dumb?
Like, I've only got 12 belts she's got now.
Yeah.
Would you like that, or do you think she could stay away from all this and focus on
she's
stat?
already broken the record, and
she's focusing on stat.
And if she's not winning, then you want to preserve the illusion that she's completely, like, you cannot beat her, even though she's been beaten once.
But of course, with these sorts of things, sometimes, Michael Sidgwick, teams are just thrown together.
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
Don't bring her in for it.
What's the random tag team we're going to see in this women's tag team tournament?
I'm not looking at your screen.
We'll decide how far they go.
And then we should come up with a team name.
Yeah, team name, how far they go, and whether they're face or heel.
Indeed.
As we get this. Usual Prova rules apply, but I'm going to insist that stretches across both, so you can only have 3 skips across both members of the team. Okay?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I'm scrolling through the women's division. When you're ready, tell me to stop. I will allow you to take people who
are still scrolling.
Are in order. Yeah, I will allow you to take. Well, I'm up and down. It's not that many.
You're feeding us a lot of information, dude.
I will allow you to take from already established tag teams if you'd prefer.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do what I want.
Yeah.
Step.
Picking on between 1 and 15.
12.
That is Tay Mello.
Skip.
Okay.
That would be funny, splitting them apart.
Yeah, we're going to the tournament. Well, I am.
They need to do something other than them just being BFFs, because they've literally been best friends forever. Stop.
1 to 15.
3.
Athena.
Oh, it's going to be interesting, because you could drive something forward with Billy Starks, who she doesn't pick. Go. I've got 2 skips left, correct?
2 skips left, yeah.
Yeah, my mathing. Stop.
1 to 13.
10.
Thunder Rosa.
They had a little bit of...
she could be in the tourney. I don't think she'd be in this team. She could be in the tourney.
Don't know what the hell she's up to right now, to be honest.
No.
Skip.
Okay. Athena and...
Stop.
1 to 15.
6.
One of your favourites, Madison Rain.
Oh, God. Completely it. I've absolutely it. That's
you got what we got? You can skip one left skip. So
I don't?
No, you do. You skipped Tay and you skipped Thunder Rosa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Skip.
Okay, right. It is all on this one, though. Athena and
I'm sorry, but Madison Rayne, probably the worst consistent streak of Dynamite matches anyone's ever put on. Sorry. I'm a little bit too real. Stop.
1 to 15.
8.
Okay. I guess an interesting team.
Okay.
One side of the team, Athena.
Yeah.
Other side of the team, Riho.
Oh, I like
fun,
it.
Isn't it?
I like it. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like it. I like that a lot because they could be the team that can't get along, and then they have a match because Riho, high ceiling on that. Their team name would be Riho Face.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We're effing. Yes. They don't win, though, do they? Billy Starks maybe costs them. She's like,
What are you doing
don't
here?
pick me. Yeah. Oh, imagine if someone had Mother Wayne in their team. Pick me, a tag team partner.
Don't pick me, a Billy.
So who's your pick? Who's your nailed on pick? Who do you want to be the first tag team champions? Women's tag champs.
So, who's the best heel team in terms of matches I want to see? I feel sorry because she came back from a pretty awful injury. I really thought Sky Blue was getting somewhere before that. You know what? Give her another goddamn chance. Sky Blue and Julia Hart, because I think Tekla's an act that is worth pushing.
Yes, I agree.
So maybe build. I don't like it as an act, but I like the individual components of the act. But build a triangle of madness.
Build me a spider with a
We
triangle.
don't have to say it for literally everything.
But I think it might be a thing now.
Yeah, I think we might have to say it every other sentence. So. Criticize this a bit.
Well, let us know your thoughts ahead of AEW Dynamite tonight in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow both of us. You can follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. As I said, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcast from for daily wrestling podcasts. We'll be all back tomorrow to review AEW Dynamite, and me and Sidgwick will be back later to review NXT. But for now, it's been the Dynamite preview. Well, thanks to Michael Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.